What's good, everybody? Welcome into Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford, and we are presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more. If you don't know, get familiar. This season, this 2025-2026 NBA season, we are releasing episodes on Wednesday and Thursday. And if you are on X, you just might catch us live streaming, maybe even on YouTube too. So make sure you stay tuned for all that's happening with Inside the Green Room in this new NBA season. A lot to get to today. Apparently, Charles Barkley was out of pocket. Maybe even Stephan A. Smith was out of pocket, but that would be kind of the norm. We're also going to look forward to some of the top players in the NBA returning to full health and returning to the court. Danny's top 5 players he's looking to return to the NBA court this season is coming up on this episode. And I want to get into what Charles Barkley said in just a moment. But first, Danny, I guess we should also let the NBA circle that listens to this pod or watches this pod. Remember, you could find us on Instagram at Inside Green Room or on Twitter at Green Room Inside. People who pay attention to this pod, I guess we should let them know what you'll also be doing this upcoming NBA season. And I think let's give, before we even do that, Danny, I think the beauty of this pod a little bit is that we could also give a little bit of life lessons. And we can also, because we've known each other for so long, I think it's important to kind of just talk about life in general and how people's can pan out. But I'll give that insight first. But first, let the people know what you'll be doing specifically with the Lakers this year.
Yeah, man, it's been a blessing, man, to be able to be a part, stay around the game in this facet, on this on the media side of it thing. So last year, I've been filling some things out, kind of on freelance. Work with Turner some, work with ESPN a ton, work with FanDuel some, kind of feeling and figure out where I fit. And I've done some first take. I don't know if that's my cup of tea. It's hard to debate, especially with guys like Stephan A. He's very good at what he does. But I called some games last year, and that was before I took a job, off the books, doing something else. But it was fun. I enjoyed calling games. So I want to do more of that. So this year I'll be able to chance to obviously be in studio and talk about the games, but call some games this preseason, and I'll be working with Spectrum. So I'll be with Spectrum this year doing some games, probably 2 or 3 times a month, maybe, alongside doing some stuff for ESPN and wherever else I land. But I'm excited about it, man. It should be fun. It's not far from home. And it's kind of, I wouldn't say where we started our pod, but our pod early on was over at Spectrum. They took very good care of us, man. They had a really good studio over there, so it was dope. So it was good to be like in a familiar space.
100%. So for those that don't know, those are maybe not Lakers fans or on that side of the country. Spectrum Sportsnet is the TV station that has the broadcast rights to Los Angeles Lakers games. So Danny will be in studio this year talking about the Lakers pre and post game, and obviously halftime as well. And you just might find him calling some games as well. So super happy, Danny, about that for sure. I'm in New York, so I won't be able to watch Spectrum Sportsnet like that, but maybe I can sneak in a
local California.
Maybe somebody can give me a login or something. I'll be able to check it out. I think I'll be able to work that out. But with that being said, here comes the life lesson. And again, the beauty of the show, Danny, because we've known each other for a while, like we don't want the show to all be about basketball. We could talk about life. And one of the things, Danny, that I've always been told, and you know it too, and I'm sure you've had other examples, you don't burn bridges. That is something that you don't do. So to rewind a little bit, back in 2014, I was working Spectrum myself in Ohio, and in 2018 Spectrum Sports, the TV station I was working with in Ohio, dissolved. No longer a sports TV station. I was looking for another job, but when I left there, I didn't leave there disgruntled, unhappy, pissed off that I lost the job. I just said, that's how the market is. That's what media is doing right now. Things are consolidating, things are changing. It is what it is. Turns out that my connection at Spectrum, the people I knew at Spectrum, were the same people that ended up introducing me and us, Danny, to Spectrum Sportsnet in LA. Now we start the podcast, and now you're playing for the Lakers. Now you start playing for the Lakers. We already have a built-in connection to the Lakers TV station because I didn't burn any bridges when I got burned in Ohio. And what did that, as you alluded to, Danny, that allowed us to put the podcast in the Spectrum Sportsnet studios back in 2018, 2019. Now you flash forward to 2025, and here you are now with an opportunity to be in the studio on a consistent and daily basis as one of the faces of Lakers broadcast TV. So it's a prime example. You don't burn bridges. And even though it's not a prime benefit to me per se, when somebody eats, we all eat. So exactly. I'm very happy to see how it all panned out. Something that happened, something that started in 2014.
Yeah, over a decade ago.
A relationship was built back in 2014, and now it's not even done per se, right? It still can grow from here, but I'd like to see some of the fruit come to bear.
Exactly, and to piggyback on that, man, not just burning bridges goes a long way, but professionalism. And we talk about this all the time off air. And right now it seems as if maybe because of the abundance of content and we see so much of, I guess, incompetence in the world, it seems like professionalism is at an all-time low. But even if somebody doesn't do you right, you still handle yourself as a professional, shows intelligence, shows maturity. You should never leave on a bad note, because you never know when you're going to need that person or when that person's going to reach back out to you, et cetera, just like that. It's burning bridges. But it's just one of those things. I said, it always comes back. And usually for the people that leave on bad notes or burn bridges, it makes the world that much harder to navigate, because the world's a small place. It always comes back. The media circle, the basketball world, your friends, it's almost anything, almost any industry you're in. It's a very small circle, small business, small world, and everybody intertwined. So if you did something bad by somebody, you better believe it. And you do bad by enough people, it's going to get around and it's going to hurt you in the long run. But even if somebody does bad by you and you just handle yourself in the right manner, that can go a long way, because they might be like, my apologies. We have another opportunity here to do this, do that, and this. So just handling yourself like a professional and maturing, and that's the reason why I don't do a bunch of hot takes, why I don't see me trashing a lot of players or trying to, talk negatively about players. And it's not because I think they're going to give me a job opportunity. One, I back the players because, it's a fraternity. And I know how hard it is to do that job, or whatever job it is, in the media space, on the court, off the court, et cetera. But yes, two, to keep relationships in a good way to where I could always do business with somebody. If my name always comes to mind. Danny Green never talked bad about me. He never did this. He does his job, but he doesn't, ish on the players.
Go overboard. He doesn't go overboard.
Yeah, he doesn't go overboard.
Yeah. No, I mean you got to toe a balance. Like, yes, you have to be you're now paid to be opinionated. You are paid to give your honest critique, but there is a line between
you can give an opinion without ishing on people.
Exactly. I think the only profession, Danny, that you could actually burn bridges is like if you're like an open heart surgeon. Like if you're an open heart surgeon, it don't matter if y'all don't like me. I got a skill set.
Comedians too.
Well,
I feel like comedians.
But comedians but they have to get booked. They still have to get booked. Like they're still, you know what I'm saying? Like, being a comedian is not like, yes, they are talented, but there are a lot of people who are that talented who maybe just never got the shine.
For sure. But when you're like topics you have to speak on that, a group of people is going to not like, they're going to hate you for it. You can't go, you have to talk about topics, and you have to talk, you might say jokes that are going to be, people are not going to be able to receive those well. So you got to be able to do your job, be confident in doing well, and be able to be okay with stepping on some toes. But I get you. I'm with you.
Yeah, that comes with the territory. But when you are like a surgeon, it doesn't matter if you're an asshole. It doesn't matter if you're mean. You're a surgeon. Y'all need y'all need me.
You need my service. You need my service. Doctors, surgeons, you need my service. I get it.
Yeah. Point blank, period. All
Scientists, right, those people that do numbers, statistical things.
Yeah. You could just do whatever. It's all good. But when you're in when you're in a quote unquote replaceable job or replaceable career, you gotta watch what you say. Gotta watch what you do. You have to watch how you act. That is for sure. All right, let's get into the world of basketball. And I want to go to a Charles Barkley quote. He recently said that the 76ers are the best team in the East. And yes, he gave the caveat that they have to be healthy. And I think, Danny, this qualifies as our first out of pocket. is Charles Barkley out of pocket by saying that the 76ers are the best team in the Eastern Conference?
Very much so, yes. And I'm a fan of Philly. I love Philly to death. Even when healthy, I think Joel is unbelievable talent. I think Tyrese an unbelievable talent. VJ Edgecombe, he's going to be very good. He's still a rookie. Paul George is good, but he's not the same Paul. So if Paul was All-Star Paul or MVP voted Paul, like when he was in OKC, that would give me more confidence. But I just don't think his body, at this point in his career, his body's going to hold up. And I just don't think him and Joel have not had enough minutes on the road together. Tyrese, they haven't played enough games together. It's going to take a while for them to fill it out. And I just don't see them staying healthy. Even when healthy, I just don't think they have more talent than other teams. I think the Knicks have more talent. I think Cleveland is going to be very good again this year. I think Orlando is going to be very good this year. There's some teams out there. I mean, the East is always open. You still have Giannis in Milwaukee. You never know what he's going to do. But yes, they're one of the top teams in the East. But the number one team in the East, I don't think so. I just don't see it.
Yeah, he's out of pocket. And I understand what he's saying to a certain extent because I believe, and I'll say it again, Joel Embiid, when healthy, is the best player in the Eastern Conference. I think he's better than Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'll stand on it. But he's just not good. I just don't think he's going to be healthy. There hasn't been a period of Joel Embiid's career in terms of from regular season to postseason where he stays on the court. If he actually did that, I would give the 76ers a great chance of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals because he has all the skills. He has all the size and he has great determination about him. And then if you add in the maturity of Tyrese Maxey, you add in the veteran play that could come from Paul George, you add in some athleticism from guys like VJ Edgecombe, you add in maybe some sharpshooting from Jared McCain, you add in some sharpshooting potentially from Quentin Grimes, and you add in some hard nose and real gritty play from a guy like Kelly Oubre. Then you add in a backup big man that can grab boards and Andre Drummond. And you add in a championship head coach in Nick Nurse. They actually have a roster that should go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have a roster that should be in the NBA Finals. But this roster, particularly with Joel Embiid, has traditionally and always been a shoulda, woulda, coulda. And that's how it always is going to be until they actually do it. We're not denying the quality of talent on the roster. And I would have to say that Daryl Morey has done a good job of accumulating talent. However, it's not just talent that wins championships. It's also chemistry. And you can't have chemistry if you can't get on the court. Show me and I'll believe. I can't just think of it. I got to see it. And I haven't seen it yet.
Agreed. And that's why, as good as Joel is, I haven't seen him play in some time. So it's hard to put him over Giannis for me right now. But a couple of years ago, yes, he was better than Giannis. But the way Giannis played last year, and he's playing in the summertime, takes care of his body.
No.
I can't put him ahead of Giannis. I can't put Joel ahead of Giannis just yet. I have to see it again. I haven't seen him play. Now he's a couple years older now. I want to see what it looks like.
All right, let's go to the next one here. And this is coming from one Stephan A. Smith, who says he believes that the New York Knicks will be in the NBA Finals. And let me say this. He's not out of pocket. He's not out of pocket at all. If you look at the Eastern Conference, I don't think you could definitively say that there's any team better than the New York Knicks. The biggest issues that they had last year, in my opinion, wasn't just the minutes that they were putting on the starters. It was also the lack of creativity with the offense. I think some people will look at the playoffs last year and say, well, they barely beat the Detroit Pistons. Somehow, some way they snuck out a win against the Boston Celtics. And I think to a certain extent that they are true. They should have smashed the Pistons. They should have won each game by at least 10 points. And I love Tom Thibodeau. He's a good coach. And I love what he did with the Knicks, rising them back to respectability. But let's be real here. The offense had no imagination. There was no ball movement in the offense. And thank you, Mike Brown, for coming to New York, because now the ball should be pinging around. The New York Knicks, I'll say it. I said it last year, and I'll say it again now, are the only team in the NBA with the starting lineup capable of having at least 4 players scoring over 20 points per game. They are capable of doing that, and they never showed it even a little bit last year because the ball was in Jalen Brunson's hands until it was time to shoot it at the end of the shot clock. And I love Jalen Brunson. He's a very good player, but it's not sustainable. Shout out to Mike Brown coming to the New York Knicks and re-innovating this offense to be what it's supposed to be. And if it is what it's supposed to be, the New York Knicks should be in the NBA Finals, because until Jared Allen proves me that the lights aren't too bright, Knicks are the best team in the East.
Spoken like a Knick fan. True Knick fan. You're out of pocket for this fucking rant right now, bro. Kidding me? Yeah, Stephan A is out of pocket. They're a good on roster. Yes, they are a very good team. They have a good roster.
Name me the hole. Name me the hole.
Listen,
name me the weakness.
Defense. It's not just the offense. They didn't lose last year just because their offense was stagnant. They didn't play enough defense. They have better pieces now. They have more bench. We'll see how they use that bench. This is their first year with a new head coach, and I love Mike Brown. I think he's going to be great for them. But to say they're going to be in the finals already, come on, man. It's been 30 years. How long has it been?
Like 40 years.
I don't care what the, yes, 40 years. Why?
Well, not 40 years. You have to,
Nick. That's why. The Knicks are going to Nick. I don't give a damn what the roster is. The Knicks going to Nick, bruh. And only Knicks fans are going to be like, oh, the Knicks are in the finals. But they should have smashed the Pacers. They didn't. They got their ass whooped. Woulda, coulda. You're out of pocket, my friend. Talking about they should have smashed the Pacers by 10 points each game. What?
No, Pistons.
Oh, okay.
Pistons.
They got lucky. It might have been a longer series too. They should have been a longer series. They should have, but they didn't. They got waxed by the Pacers, and they should have won that series too. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. They got their ass whooped in the Pacers series, and Detroit, they almost could have lost that one. They are a very good team, but until you show me a team that can get over the nicking somehow, some way, past this little Nick curse, because they haven't done nothing since I've been alive. I've been alive for 38 years, Harrison. You've been alive the same. I haven't seen a damn thing from the New York Knickerbockers in 38. Well, I mean, they've been to the finals. They've been to playoffs.
They went to the finals in 2000.
Come on, bro. Like, what are we? They're gonna, and that was a good team.
And they and 94.
All right, Knicks fans are out of pocket.
Yeah. Well, Dan, I don't think it's fair to cast aspersions on this current set of the Knicks when the past Knicks haven't been great. It's not like they carried over. It's not like they every year. You act like we have the same. You act like they have the same head coach. You act like they have the same players. It's a brand new thing. They can't be blamed for past season's faults.
Every team at the beginning of preseason thinks they have a chance. Every team is happy. The Pelicans, the Utah Jazz, we can make it. You guys are the Cowboys of the NBA. It's our year this year.
Diddy, can I? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How many minutes do you think Mitchell Robinson played with Karl-Anthony Towns last year in the regular season?
Not enough, and he won't get enough this year either. Because you know why?
Guess how many?
We talked about Joel Embiid not being able to stay healthy. Mitchell Robinson doesn't stay healthy either.
How many minutes do you think he played?
60
with Karl-Anthony Towns,
including playoffs. Including the playoffs. That's not true.
Just regular season.
Regular season is different. Yeah. So yeah,
3 minutes, and he didn't start. And he didn't start with Karl-Anthony Towns until the Boston Celtics series. So
that works against certain teams. Again, those teams they may not work against other teams. You have two slow ass bigs out there. Some team's gonna run your ass through the door.
The only issue
Robinson on the floor at the same time. We'll see what they do against Cleveland.
The only issue I see with the New York Knicks is them trying to find a resolution when Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns get put in the pick and roll. If they can solve that, they'll be in the finals. And even if they don't solve that,
that's a big if, because you can put either one of them in any action. You're gonna put Jalen Brunson in the pick and roll. I can put both.
Yes.
I'm aware. Together, there's a lot of actions where those two guys stay on the floor a good amount of the time too. So
I'm aware. No, I'm aware. But no team is perfect. That's the Knicks issue. We'll see what Mike Brown does to solve that. I think
if he uses their bench better, if Jordan Clarkson, Deuce, Wabusele, like all of those guys come in and do some good things, Mitchell Robinson, if Josh Hart adjusts to come up with, because that's really what the biggest key was. Josh Hart adjusting to come up. He didn't play his normal game because he's not used to playing. He used to playing 48 minutes because that's what tips. Now Mitchell Robinson's back. It's like, all right, you might have to come off the bench. That's a big adjustment. If he's not the same person, that's the heart and soul of your team. If the heart and soul of your team is not the same person, bro.
Yeah,
if Josh Hart is not Josh Hart, that you guys are not a top seeded team. You shouldn't be. You guys don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals without Josh Hart.
I'm not mentally prepared for this discourse. All right, let's move on. The last one here, we're going to switch over to the NFL. Danny, obviously, almost everybody in the world of sports is kind of familiar with what's been going on with the Cleveland Browns. They drafted Dillon Gabriel in the NFL draft, and then a couple of rounds later, they took Shedeur Sanders. Going into the NFL draft, people thought that Shedeur Sanders was going to be a first-round pick, maybe even a top 10 pick. He went all the way to the last day of the NFL draft for the Cleveland Browns ended up picking him up. And during the offseason or during the preseason, all the attention was on the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation, even though Joe Flacco, old as he is, was named the starter. Well, they have now put Joe Flacco on the bench, and they have started Dillon Gabriel out of Oregon. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Joe Flacco is now the backup quarterback. He is not going to third string. He is the backup, which means that Shedeur Sanders is still number 3 on the depth chart. And times he has been asked about how he feels about practicing and how he feels about his future or his career trajectory. And he's always evoked confidence, always evoked belief in himself. And some people don't like that. Particularly one was Rex Ryan, who called him out for how he was talking, basically said, you need to be in the film room and basically shut up and don't say anything until your time has come. Well, Shedeur Sanders found a way to clap back at that in a unique way, because when he was told or asked by a reporter how he felt about Dillon Gabriel, the quarterback drafted before him in the same draft, being named the starter, he did not answer the question. He mimed his answer, not saying a word, essentially poking fun of what Rex Ryan and people who are against him have been saying. And the fact that he mimed them, it didn't go well. That wasn't seen as a mature response. It was seen as even more immaturity from the side of Shedeur Sanders. What are your thoughts, Danny, as somebody who probably who spent time in the league fighting for time to be a starter, fighting for time to have opportunity? Obviously, your situation very different from Shedeur.
Very different from Shedeur. Shedeur is very
nonetheless.
He's a talent player. Should have been higher picked for sure.
Yeah. But was he out of pocket for handling the press conference in the way that he did?
No, I think this. Are you serious? This depends on your personality, right? So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? So even if he does say something, they're gonna pick it apart and say, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I thought it was pretty clever to be if he's trying to be funny, I don't know him as a class clown, so this is not him. So yes, this is him being out of pocket, but this is somebody else that is known to poke fun with the media. Then it's normal. But for me, I think he was just trying to refrain. If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. But him miming it may not went over too well. But
yeah, of course not.
If you have nothing to say, I mean, you have nothing. He could have said no comment. He could have handled it a little more professionally. But at this point, he's having fun with it. They're having fun right now with. It seems like the media is having fun with everything that he says. It seems like the team is having fun with they're just picking on. Not saying picking on the kid, but they're messing with him, man. He's not getting any type of opportunities he deserves to get. So he's probably in a mode. He's in Cleveland. He's probably not happy. I'm gonna say depressed, but he's just like, man, F it. I'm just gonna be me, have fun, kick it, let them say what they want to say. So yes, James, you're right. I was just talking about being a professional. This was not professional.
Exactly.
It all depends on personality. But hey, man, let Shedeur live, man. This guy can't do nothing right. It's just like, damn. Always what I'm saying he's not out of pocket is because everything that he's done before when he tried to do it the right way, they still picked it apart. But yes, this was out of pocket. It's a little out of pocket.
No, it's not a little out of pocket. It's out of pocket. Your job is to talk to the media. That is a part of your job description. Not talking.
Was Marshawn Lynch was out of pocket? I mean, people laughed because that was his.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch was out of pocket. But you know what? Marshawn Lynch was a starter.
For sure. I'm here so I don't get fined. I mean, I get it. Listen, it ain't for everybody. He's a talented player, man. And yes, whether you're a starter or not, people are going to say it's out of pocket. You don't start if you don't speak. Yeah, but if you come in and say, I'm here so I don't get fined, or I'm here, for them saying just repeating that, I have to be here for 2 minutes. people thought it was funny. People loved it, but because it's Shedeur and he's not a star right now, they're gonna, look frown upon it. But it is what it is.
The cool thing about Marshawn Lynch, even though he kept on doing that, I'm sure that it annoyed all the local reporters in Seattle while he was doing that. It has been cool to see that he actually really does have a great personality, and
it's got him commercials and stuff. He's starting to go into movies, like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, Shedeur Sanders, not Marshawn Lynch. All right, let's continue going here. And I want to take a look, Danny, as we have begun this partnership with FanDuel Sportsbook, Make Every Moment More, at looking at some specific betting markets. And when we get to the NBA season, I'm looking forward to doing some daily bets with you, or maybe even some more future bets. But let's go ahead and take a look at an interesting thing that involves one of your former teams. The Toronto Raptors have made a lot of changes over the past year. Obviously, they signed that deal to have Emmanuel quickly. They brought in RJ Barrett, both in the Knicks trade when they ended up giving up OG Anunoby. Shout out to Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster for that. As a Knicks fan, shout out OG. Welcome to the city. With that being said, they also got Brandon Ingram, and obviously Scotty Barnes is there, and you and I both know Scotty Barnes very well. I find it interesting, Danny, in an East where you really only feel confident in maybe the top 3, maybe top 4. There's an opportunity for the Toronto Raptors not just to potentially make the play-in, but to potentially make the playoffs as a lower seed, especially if you look at things like Tyler Hero being injured for the Miami Heat going into the season. We haven't really seen, we look at the Indiana Pacers, no Tyrese Halliburton. Who's to say that, and I'm not suggesting this happens, but like it's not out the realm of possibility that if they're not looking good by a certain part of the year, you say to Pascal Siakam, okay, shut it down, get ready for next season. Oh, yeah, they also don't have Miles Turner. What happens if you're the Milwaukee Bucks and you have Giannis Antetokounmpo? If Giannis comes down with some type of injury halfway through the season and they don't really think they're going to go far in the playoffs anyway, why risk Giannis getting hurt in March if you don't even think you're going to be the team that gets out the first round? I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not out the realm of possibility to think that way. And what's also not out the realm of possibility, Danny, is that the Toronto Raptors make the play-in. And right now on FanDuel Sportsbook, you can get plus money, even money, plus 100 to bet that the Toronto Raptors just make the play-in, not the playoff. Plus 100. That means if you bet $100, you get $100 for the Toronto Raptors to make the play-in. I don't think you could. You have 15 teams in the NBA. You basically have to say that they're not going to be a bottom 5 team in the East. In the East. And if we can go, I'm going to go pull up the standings right now from last year. Let's look at the rosters. Danny, I don't think there's any way that they missed the play-in. Like they would have to have serious injury issues.
Everybody be hurt again like last year. For
it not to happen.
Yeah. No, I'm taking that bet, and obviously the odds were even better. But I see them being I could see Toronto being in the top 6 this year. So with how Miami is trying to figure it out, and Tyler Hero being hurt and being down, so the injuries that happen, we don't know what Philly's looking like. A lot of changes across the board. Toronto, if they can put it together, if they can stay healthy, I think they're a really good young up-and-coming team. And the East is so wide open. So out of the top 3 teams, everybody has a chance. You know what I'm saying?
But even I would even say up and coming is almost disrespectful to them. Emmanuel quickly has been in the league for a while. Brandon Ingram's been in the league for a while. Scotty Barnes, yes, he's still younger, but he's past that. He should be past that now. And RJ Barrett has played playoff games. Brandon Ingram has played playoff games. Danny, I'm looking at the Eastern Conference right now. There is no way, in my opinion, that they don't have a better record than the Washington Wizards. Agree?
Agreed.
Okay, they're going to have a better record than the Brooklyn Nets. Agree?
Agreed. No hesitation with those two.
Top to bottom, they have a better roster than the Charlotte Hornets, right?
Agreed. Better record they should have too.
So that's already 3 teams out the mix. Now you start to think, okay, yes, the Boston Celtics are a team with pride, but Jason Tatum not playing this year. Same thing I said about Giannis, I can say about Jaylen Brown. Who's to say Jaylen Brown doesn't ball out for the first up until maybe a little bit after the All-Star break, then they decide to trade away pieces like an Anthony Well, come around trading deadline, they're like, well, we're not going to go to the finals. We could trade away Anthony Simons for some draft picks. You know what, Jaylen Brown? Let's not go too hard. And let's look forward to when Jason Tatum comes back. It's not out the realm possibility they have a better record than the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are a better team.
Chicago Bulls
without Jason Tatum. Chicago Bulls definitely going to have a better record than them. We don't know what the Chicago Bulls are going to be, and Josh Giddey ain't it. We talked about Indiana Pacers. We don't know what they're going to look like. I could make an argument right now, Danny, especially with no Miles Turner and no Tyrese Halliburton in a head-to-head matchup, best of 7. I'd probably take the Raptors against the Indiana Pacers. So you got the Pacers is debatable. You have the Charlotte Hornets, Washington Wizards, and then you also have the Brooklyn Nets. Those are teams that I clearly feel that they can be better than. And again, who knows what happens with the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid and Paul George. At plus money to just make the play-in, I'm signing up.
I'm signing up too. Now, again, I said up and coming because I feel like for me, they're young, but those guys have been in the league for some time.
Right.
And if they're healthy, they're here. RJ Barrett's like, they're here. So they can hoop. They got some good pieces. So if Darko can put it together, it's going to be a more exciting season than last season for sure for the Canadians. And we should have fun watching them.
I will say this though, even though I'm bullish on them making the play-in, I still don't think they're a good team.
They're not a great team, but you don't have to be good in the East to be in the top 7. Be in the top.
And it's not like they don't have good players. I'm struggling, Danny, to see how in the world
how they put it together.
How are Brandon Ingram,
RJ
Scotty
Barrett.
Barnes, and RJ Barrett how are they supposed to fit on the court with each other?
They don't have enough shooters around them. And then you got a big, which is like Jakob
Poeltl, yeah.
And I don't know who else, but yeah, they don't have they need some more shooting around them. They need to go get a Quentin Grimes or somebody like that, like to space the floor.
Quentin Grimes would have been a nice little pickup for them. And I hate to say it, but and I know he's from Canada, but I think you're sticking with Scotty Barnes. I think RJ Barrett is that trade piece that could potentially get them maybe a 3-and-D type of player, maybe even another one. I don't know. I like RJ Barrett.
You could probably get 2 3-and-D guys.
I like RJ Barrett, but I don't see them moving off for Scotty Barnes, and they just signed Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, all together doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't fit at all. It doesn't fit. But yet, and still, I think they're a good enough team to make the play-in. So if you want, you can go ahead and make that bet. I probably will be doing that myself. All right, we're about to get out of here, but as with every show nowadays, we have a top 5. And as we look forward to the NBA season, you're starting to think, dang, there's a lot of players who are coming back to the NBA or should be coming back to the NBA after having injuries. And unfortunately, we are looking at an NBA season. We probably won't see Dame Lillard. We're not going to have Fred VanVleet. I assume we're not going to have Jason Tatum because of the injuries that they suffered, in addition to Tyrese Halliburton. So unfortunately, no NBA season with them, but there are some players that should be returning from injuries. So with that being said, Danny's top 5 players we're excited to see return from injury this upcoming year. Or in general.
Yes. So I am excited for certain players, but more so the team and tandem. So I put them in a tandem for some of these players. At number 5, I'm going to do it because I'm not that excited. I just don't think Memphis is where they should be. And because they lost so many pieces. A lot of guys are gone. They were number 2 seed a couple of years ago, and they just haven't bounced back and found the rhythm, and they lost Desmond Bane. But I wouldn't say excited, but I'll put them at number 5, Jaren Jackson and John Morant together. Then back on the court, see what Memphis looks like this year with Zach Edey at full health. They haven't been healthy for some time. I'll just put them at 5. At 4, I'm going to go with Joel and Paul George. I'm going to put them at 4 because we just haven't seen them healthy. We know what Philly's capable of. We know what they can be. We know what Joel can be and how much he can push that team. So I want to see what Philly looks like with both of them healthy. This year in that perspective. At number 3, I'm surprised you don't have them at number 1. No, actually, I'll put them at 3 originally, but I'm more excited to see Zion come back and see what he does with this new skinny body. So I have Zion, the player, but him and DeJounte as a tandem. I want to see DeJounte get healthy, my young boy. I put them at 3. And I want to see what New Orleans looks like. Jordan Poole, see what his attitude's like. Can he keep this up for the whole season? His mentality, his conditioning, all that. So I'm excited to see Zion, what he does this year, because it seems like he's more of a mature and a focused mindset of trying to put his best foot forward. And it might be because, contract year or whatever, or bonuses in line. So I got them at 3. At number 2, Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. I got to see that tandem. Wemby's always.
Wow, you're right. How many did they even play with each other last year?
They played as many as Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns played together on the floor, probably a total of 3.
You're right.
So I got them at 2. I'd love to see Wemby, love to see him play. I want to see De'Aaron Fox, both of them together, that tandem. And number 1, which I said I should have been biased and had San Antonio number 1. But I'm really excited because I want to see how Dallas looks. So I got to put Kyrie and AD at number 1. With Cooper Flag, I want to see what Dallas actually looks like healthy. So when Kyrie comes back from ACL and him being himself, and we seen him working out, and then seeing all those guys around him, those pieces, PJ Washington got an extension. Anthony Davis is still there. Cooper Flag is there. Najee Marshall. Clay is there, so, and they got some backup guys. So I want to see what they look like actually full health, Derek Lively. So Gafford, unbelievable front court. And they just have they have monsters, man, defensively. So I want the Battle of Texas is going to be crazy this year. So I want to see how Dallas looks. And of course, when they play Houston, when they play Dallas, it's going to be some smoke in the city.
Yeah, so Kyrie Irving, it feels like they might have the best front court best collection of front court players in the NBA in terms of like depth. If they could add Kyrie, Nico Harrison might just be on. This might have been on to something.
He could look really bad, or he could look like a genius. Because a lot of people right now are ishing on him. Yeah, D'Angelo Russell's there as well. So they got some pieces, bro. They got some pieces.
Yeah. They definitely do. All right, there you go. Danny's top 5 players/teams he's looking to see come back from injury this upcoming season. Number 1, Kyrie Irving off torn ACL to join the Dallas Mavericks. Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, who had 2 different injuries towards the end of the year, and Wemby obviously had the health scare with the blood clots. He has been cleared to play. Looking forward to see what happens with Wemby. Number 3, skinny Zion. I don't think we ever thought about that one before. No. Number 4, which is, again, still crazy to me because this team probably has the best potential, especially because in the East, Joel Embiid and Paul George. Can they finally be healthy and be on the court together? And we could see what all the hoopla was about last offseason. And then number 5, Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant. And, their situation is interesting because now with no Desmond Bane, and especially no Zach Edey for at least a little bit, it's really on them. It's time to show improve. Memphis has made the investment in them. It's time to put the investment back in Memphis and see if it's worth it or not. And if it isn't, it is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. I do think it's a bit disappointing, Danny, because I do think that they're a sneaky good team if healthy, because I think people are sleeping on what KCP could mean for that team. I think people are also sleeping on Jalen Wells as well. Jalen Wells was a guy who was picking up 94 feet, and he was showing he could hit the jumper, and he could hit the jumper a little bit. The guy who they just took in the first round of the draft, I'm forgetting his name, but he profiles as another 3-and-D player. If you have Jaren Jackson Jr., who can stretch the floor as a big, and you have Ja Morant, who can get into the paint, and you surround them with guys who can hit the 3 and play defense, you have something very, very good. But you got to be healthy in order for us to really believe that. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. Again, I am Harrison Sanford, and we've been presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Again, every Wednesday and every Thursday, you'll be able to catch us during the course of this NBA season. So until then, Danny, tell them what to do.
Read, rate, subscribe, review. Peace.